What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. On June 23rd, 2025, a young man by the name of Jabari Peoples was just hanging out in Homewood, Alabama with his girlfriend. He was in the parked car at a particular park. Somehow a police officer pulled up and just told him to roll down the windows. When he rolled down the windows, there was a smell of weed. And of course the officer was asking, why are you smelling weed or smoking weed or whatever? And he asked Mr. Jabari Peoples to get out of the car. Now, once Mr. Jabari Peoples got out the car, he then saw there was a weapon in the car. He saw a gun in the car. Now, the cop is by himself, okay? Now, at this particular time, he tried to arrest Mr. Jabari Peoples, and allegedly a fight broke out or a scuffle broke out. And let's just say at the end of all of this, ended up with Mr. Jabari Peoples being killed, okay? Now, there was a lot of speculation to this story when it first happened because a lot of people were upset. And so people were going around reporting the story like this.
Alabama police teenager, and now they're refusing to tell his family the truth about what really happened to him. Jabari Peoples was a college student from Aliceville. He was sitting in a parked car at the Homewood Soccer Complex on June 23rd when an officer approached him. Police claimed the officer smelled weed, spotted a gun in the car, and shot Peoples after a struggle. But the victim's family and an eyewitness tell a very different story, the real story. According to the family, the officer arrived without lights or sirens and tapped on the window and called Peoples a little boy before ordering him out of the car. They insist Peoples was complying with commands when he was suddenly taken to the ground and shot. His girlfriend, who was in the car, says there was no struggle and no weapon in Peoples' hand when he was killed. Aliceville Mayor Terrence Wyndham has joined growing demands for the immediate release of body camera footage, calling for transparency in this investigation.
And even the news reported it like this.
District Attorney Danny Carr says the officer smelled and saw marijuana in the vehicle when he approached it. And when Peoples exited the vehicle, he saw a gun in the driver's side door panel. That's when the officer tried to put Peoples in cuffs.
So then Attorney Danny Gray, he is the district attorney for Homewood, Alabama, announced on August 6th that he would now file charges against the officer, saying that the officer's use of force was justified based on his review of the video. Okay. Now, he also went on to a radio show to talk about this.
Tell us, what did you see from beginning until the end? Let's start.
So let me start by saying this. Number one, the video was shown, and the video was shown. I'm one of the few law enforcement officers or DAs around here that will show a video. I do that for a reason. I do that because I believe in transparency, and the purpose of showing that video is not to make somebody feel good. Whatever's in that video is not going to make you feel good.
At all.
The purpose of showing that video is for people to know what happened at that moment. That's what purpose of. Okay. And I made that clear to the family before I showed it to them.
Okay.
Right.
So the family was there.
So
their attorneys are there.
So the family came. Mom and dad decided they didn't want to watch it, so they sat outside. The rest of the family members came, and some other individuals. So I allowed a multitude of people in. His lawyers, civil attorneys and criminal attorney, whoever, and Mr. Crump, they all were there as well. I allowed them in, and they watched it as well.
Okay.
They watched that video about 5 times, and I kept running back, let them watch it again. Watch it as many times as you need to. That was the raw footage. The raw footage was about maybe close to 5 minutes, right at 4 minutes and something. And the raw footage is when he actually turns the camera on.
Now, this is interesting because he said, listen, you guys want to see the body cam footage? I let all of the people see the body cam footage. Some of the family did not want to see it, quite naturally. But he said he replayed it 4 or 5 times, all right? This is what he said. Now, also, it's important to understand that he says the officer turned on his body cam once he encountered the car. This is very important, all right? Because this is where the biggest attack of the argument is toward the officer. Like, we want to see the whole thing, you pulling up to the car. Like, why do you put the body cam on once you approach the car? What happened before that? Well, what else is in the video?
Okay. He turns the camera on, and when he turns it on, what it shows is he has Jabari at the back of the truck that they're in, kind of at the back. His hands on the car. And you hear him say, hey, you know, if you move again, man, you're going to eat this concrete or something like that. And then as he's trying to put the cuffs on, then there's a scuffle. And there's a scuffle between those two, and they fall to the ground. That scuffle goes on maybe for about 10 seconds, or something like that. And then you see Jabari get up, and the door to the driver's side was still open. Jabari gets up, and instead of running left to run away, he ran to the door, reached in the car, got a gun, and when he got that gun, the officer was right there, and he shot him. And when he fell on the ground, the gun was still in his hand.
So now what's being said is Jabari Peoples broke away from the officer, went back to where the gun was, went to reach for the gun, was going to use the gun to shoot the officer, and he was shot. And it's clear as day, according to the district attorney, that you can see him looking for the gun and even holding the gun. Now let's go back to the first part of the argument. Well, why didn't the body cam start before he approached the car? Okay, I don't know if the body cam footage or the body cam should be operated before interaction with the person. I'm not sure about each state, but once you do see, or they can see that before the interaction was deadly, that the body cam is on, I think in some cases, the police department may believe that the officer is protecting themselves. All right. So then another question is, well, why is he stopping the guy? I heard of an argument that, you know, that particular parking where he was in Homewood, there was, you know, some activities going on there and people were suspicious that the officer smelled weed in the car. He approached the car. So then my question is, well, why is the officer approaching the car? Can he smell weed from the car by driving, or does he have to go approach the car and to just see what's going on? So he's approaching this car. Is there any reason to pull the car over, right? That's the situation. So if the officer doesn't approach the car and there's no reason to approach the car, then okay, I can see where the family's coming from, because it seems like he wasn't breaking any laws. Seems like he was just, you know, in a car. Car was not moving. It was stationary. So the officer approached the car. However, is it illegal for an officer to approach the car and to find out information? It's not. And that's where the rubber kind of meets the road. An officer, in fact, approach you, okay, and interact with you. It's not illegal for an officer to walk up to a car or to walk up to a parked car and to see what's going on inside of the car, especially if an officer is on duty. Here is where we're gonna have a problem with. If the body cam footage shows that Jabari Peoples had a gun, number one, if Jabari Peoples has a gun, then there is no argument, okay? Why is there no argument? Because he has a weapon on him. That automatically says that the young man in question, if this is true, okay, he shouldn't have had a gun. Was it legal for him to have a gun? Most likely in Alabama, I'm not sure. But if he went and had a fight with the officer, ran back towards the place where the gun was, obviously that was not a legal gun, okay? Number two, the family is saying there must be more to the story. If the family is saying there must be more to the story, they're also indicating that the guy had a gun. That's what the family is saying. There must be more to it. So they're already admitting that the man had a gun. Here's what body cam footages can prove. Number one, that the officers are wrong. We've seen it a long time, especially when we see it with Philando Castile. We clearly see a body cam infraction by the officer. This happened in 2016. However, the body cam footage also can show something different on the other side. And then what happens if the body cam footage shows something on the other side, then we can look as a community for excuses as to why that is. Now, when we have the district attorney, we can't say that the district attorney is racist. In this case, we can't, because the district attorney is black, African-American, Danny Gray. He's not Nigerian. He's not Jamaican. He's not prejudiced against black people. He is the district attorney. All right. Now we want to make it a racial thing. And in this case, we can't use the racist thing. Number two, he didn't have a gun on him. The family would clearly point that out. They're looking for another reason to justify or to basically punish the officer. The reality is this. If the man had a gun, and I haven't seen the body cam footage for ourselves, but what it shows me in this particular situation is that the family is looking for a reason to blame the cops when that reason may not be there. If this is what the officer is saying is true, then what it means is that we are looking for a reason where we don't have one. And sometimes as black people, that also happens. We can blame racism, white supremacy in places in which it may or may not be there. All right. And what that means is that if that is the case, we have an accountability problem. There is racism. There is white supremacy. There is Caucasian gatekeeping. And then on our end, at sometimes there is unaccountability, lack of rationality, victim blaming, trying to use racism as a trope when it's not there. There are plenty of dudes that I have known who have been shot by the police or done things to the police and they're 100% guilty. And then what happens, you see black people go around and say, free my N-word. I don't know if that's the case right now, but it does happen. And then anytime a black person encounters the police, and if it's their fault, then we go back and say racism, white supremacy. This also hurts us on so many levels because when we do get white supremacy and then we call it out, but when we do things and we still blame white supremacy, it doesn't help grow the community. What it does, it makes you look like a court jester. It means that you can't take care of yourself. It means that you're not being serious, so the world doesn't take you serious. And you want to call out other people's problems, but you don't want to handle your own problem. So then the whole entire country looks at you as a joke or looks at us as a joke. That's what happens. Now, I'm not trying to say that this exactly happened, but if this is what the family saw and they're looking for another reason, what it tells me that what they saw on the body cam was convincing enough to say, well, what about the other part we didn't see? And clearly what they saw was enough to see that the young man did exactly what the district attorney is alleging. That's what it means to me. I could be very wrong. And in no way am I looking to disrespect the young man or disrespect his family. He could have made a bad decision. He could have actually made the right decision. I have not saw the body cam. But once we see the body cam and then we see that, listen, this is actually the right thing that happened. He did it. We should be quiet about it. You want to know why we should be quiet about it? Because they're actual people who suffer through these things. And then we need to give attention to those people when that happens. If this is not a racism or a white supremacy problem, then we shouldn't call it that. We should wait until it actually happens and call it that for that particular reason, instead of always making everything a racial issue if it's not, because it weakens your argument when racism actually happens. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.